Well, you said that Biggie's murder was a setup and a hit. It wasn't over Tupac blaming him for the Quad Studio situation.
It was a setup. I mean, they followed him they knew he was at the Peterson, the automotive shit. It was the whole plot then. I mean, that was it wasn't just anything random. Everybody knows that. Shit. Who did it or how or whatever, I have no knowledge of that. But that was a hit. It wasn't like just a random drive-by or, we see the opposition outside, so we gon', it was a hit.
Well, for the longest time, I mean, I've always said since the Keefe interview that I solved Tupac's murder, because to me, all the pieces fit together when I interviewed Keefe, right? I didn't really solve it. Only the police can solve it.
Right.
So I'm speaking tongue-in-cheek.
Your theory is more...
My theory, I felt, is the most solid theory and told the best story. But for the longest time, I said I don't really know who killed Biggie because I wasn't getting clear, consistent stories. But since that time...
But you've talked to James and Reggie.
I've talked to a few people. So most recently, Wack 100 came on my show. He's now a regular guest on Vlad TV. And he said that Ahmaud Pyru named Poochie was the one that was paid to kill Biggie. Poochie's dead, by the way. So we're not putting a murder.
Yeah, I've been watching the whole story of the death row murders and rest in peace Buntry and Heron and all. I've been watching that lately, and that was some interesting shit going on around there at that time.
Did you know who Poochie was at all?
I've read about Poochie. I knew Poochie was, with the whole thing, the Poochie and the George and all. Man, I've watched it all, man. It's an interesting story.
It's an interesting story. Wack 100 went on tape and said it was Poochie and he was paid. He said it had to do with some East Coast politics. Eric Von Zip was somehow tied into that story.
I believe Poochie is the one that they killed by Buntry's house, right? Him and his girlfriend?
He got killed sometime after that.
Okay.
So Poochie's dead. But Wack 100 on tape said it was Poochie. After that interview, because I remember my first interview with Vanilla Ice, he said, yeah, I know who killed Biggie. So my second interview, I said, well, Wack 100 said it was Poochie. He said, yep, that's what I heard too. When I asked about Poochie with Mob James, he said, yep, that would make the most sense. I know who Poochie was. He was known to do that. Greg Kading said it was Poochie as well.
Okay.
So you're having everyone say one after another that it's Poochie.
The shooter was paid to do that, right? He's dead, right? And it was
the guy who shot Biggie.
Yeah, he's
And
dead.
You're saying you know who that is?
Everybody know who that is, right? He's sitting there.
Is he still alive?
No, he's dead.
So can you say who it is?
He's dead. Named Poochie.
Who do you think killed Biggie?
I think Poochie was involved. I think Suge Knight orchestrated it through his, at the time, girlfriend / baby mama. I think she was the intermediary between Suge and at least one of the co-conspirators. I do believe Poochie was directly involved.
When you hear that name Poochie, does it sound familiar at all?
Yep.
Or, yeah?
Yep. It's my answer.
When you hear the theory that Poochie was the shooter, what is your take on it?
Right on.
Now remember, there was the Muslim guy, Amir Muhammad, which always seemed like
the dude with the bow tie.
The bow tie. That always seemed like a shaky story to me. I've never had a bunch of people tell me that.
And wasn't he supposed to be an ex-cop or a cop off duty or some shit like that?
He went to go visit one of the dirty cops.
Okay.
In jail at one point. That's how they're trying to somehow, I think it was probably the Rampart guys or something. Yeah. But this Poochie thing keeps coming back up. And to me, I'm going to say that this seems like the likely person. Now, who was behind it? I'm not sure. I'm not going to say it's Suge. I'm not going to say it's Puffy. I'm not going to, I don't know why Puffy would kill his biggest artist. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense, I don't know. But Poochie was known to do this and is now dead. His death may have been tied to that murder. I don't know, but it's a very intriguing story.
Yeah, it's very intriguing because they were putting in work. And like I said, I don't never speak on another neighborhood's politics, because the inner workings of whatever's going on in their hoods, you can never figure out being on the outside. So just respect to all them brothers who lost their lives.
Yeah.
The situation is treacherous. Like I said, I knew a lot of Linwood dudes. My auntie lived in Linwood, where the mob was. A lot of cross-Atlantic dudes, I'm cool with. This life ain't easy, man, when you get into this situation. And you never know what road it might lead you down.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
No, I mean, that whole situation, I remember my first interview with Mop James, when he was crying during the interview, just talking about how Buntry, his brother got killed. And a lot of those guys that were down with Suge started to turn against each other and started killing each other.
Yeah, I knew Buntry.
Yeah.
Cool dude. Like I said, it's just unfortunate because you never know, And then when it starts getting with people with money, like I said, when that money come into play, man, money puts you in a different situation than you would have been in. You get me? A lot of people's attitudes and personalities change when money's involved. And when you got a long pocketbook,
Yeah.
you go from being a regular dude to, being a motherfucker sitting on $200 million, you never know, man, what could happen. Just got to know who you running with, what circle you in, because the closest people will be the ones that try to do you in, man.